go ahead and review creating text boxes and word and text spacing and how to use it. I went ahead and created a new document here. I have 3 different columns. When creating a document, first of all I'm going to go ahead and create a couple layers. I usually create one for my text and one for my images. Usually my text box is the red one. I like to have my text boxes as red and my images blue, but it's up to you. Then you have here your rectangular frame tool. Click on that. Go ahead and make a couple boxes. Now usually this is based on your thumbnail sketches and where you want your text boxes and images to be placed. I'm going to go ahead and click Option here. Duplicate these guys. So now we have a couple text boxes. You can change the size on these guys. Let's say for illustration purposes we wanted to have our images here in the middle. Say that these boxes we wanted to have our images. I'm going to grab this little red square here. It's showing everything selected on this layer. I'm going to go ahead and move it. So I'll drag that down here to my images layer. You can see that these boxes turn blue for my images. You can also see in your pages panels I have multiple pages. Let's go to page 2 for a second. And all of the boxes that I create, just like in Illustrator, they have control points. They're made up of control points. This selection tool selects your object, and this direct selection tool can select your individual control points and move them, just like in Illustrator. I can also make a custom text box with my pen tool if I wanted to. Just like making a shape in Illustrator. Now if I select my text tool and click on any box, it's going to convert it from a regular rectangular box to a text box. And then I have my individual formatting panels up here. I can fill my different text boxes with type if I'd like. I'm just going to go throw some placeholder text in here, as you can see, and it fits within this individual box. If I grab my direct selection tool and grab these control points and move them, the text stays within the box. If I shrink it down too much, you may have overset text because the text may not all fit in the box, as you can see right here, which we'll talk about a little bit more. So that's how you would make your custom text boxes. Let's go back to page 1 though. First of all, you can insert some placeholder text, just like I was showing you, insert placeholder text. But let's say I had a file that I wanted to import here. You can do it just the same as with an image file, place, and you can find your Word document. I'm going to use this Word document right here, and it brings in my text. Now obviously my text does not all fit, and I get overset text. One way to work with overset text is I grab my selection tool, and if I click on it right here, it gives me this big icon saying where do you want the rest of the text, and I can click on another box. Okay, click on it again, go to another box. Whoops. Also, if you go into your View, Extras, Show Text Threads, it shows you where your document's going to go. I have my text going from here, then I continued it over here, etc., all the way throughout your document. This comes in handy so that you know exactly where the reader is going to be to read everything. I'm going to select that and copy it and paste it here. Make a couple more text boxes. And for now we will just go ahead and click on here, select text, fill it with placeholder text. If I select my text, you'll notice up here at the top I have my paragraph formatting controls and my character formatting controls. Okay, character formatting controls are based on the actual characters. For example, you have your font that you can change here, italics, Arial, etc. And you also have all these different controls as well. Your font size you can change here. You have your leading, which is the space between lines. I can adjust them with this up and down arrow, or I can choose with this auto leading, 18 points, etc. Now you'll notice I have overset text because of the leading pushed it beyond the confines of the box. We have our tracking controls, distance between letters. We have our kerning, vertical scale, etc., etc. I can even set it so that all my characters are caps or all my characters are caps lowercase, or as regular. Paragraph controls, I can adjust all of the justification. Let's say I wanted it centered, left justified. I can add drop caps. I can do left indents. All my controls would be right here. Also, we have our character panels and our paragraph panels. If I click on my character panel, you'll notice I pretty much have the same options as if I were in my character formatting controls here. If I have a pro font and I have open type options available, they can be found here, all caps, small caps, same things that you can see up here, subscripts, etc. And of course you have your paragraph panel containing a lot of the same things as well. Show options gives me additional options, drop caps. Now when you're working with your text, I would recommend you create character and paragraph styles. You can do this from your character and paragraph styles panels. At any time you can just go create a new paragraph style, name it something, like for example body, text, headline, title, etc. Stuff like that. You can set up everything within the panel. Say I want Arial font, I want it to be 15 points. I can adjust the indents and the spacings. Click OK. Now if I select all my text, I can apply my something paragraph style that I just created, and it has all the attributes that I added to a paragraph style. And at any time if I edit my paragraph style, let's say I want to change the color to blue, click OK, it will apply to everything with that paragraph style applied to it. One thing I would recommend when using a multi-page document and a lot of text is to snap it to the baseline grid. View, guides and grids, show baseline grid. Basically if I zoom in here, it's going to look like a lined piece of paper. And as you can see, this text is all over the place. Once you have a character or paragraph style, you can edit it, go to your indents and spacings, align to grid. We're going to say we want to align all of our lines, and it will align it to the baseline grid. If I select this, you'll notice my Arial is at 15 points. If I go into my InDesign preferences and go into grids, increments, baseline grid here, it's at 12 points. It's too small to fit here. You always want to have your baseline grid at least 3 points or higher than your font size. So let's put 20 points. Click OK. And now you'll notice that it all fits on there and doesn't look like it's double spaced because it's too crowded. So that's basically how you create text boxes and how you manage word and text spacing within them.